Hello guys and welcome back to the channel. So in this video I want to give you a highlight of Adam Spice's recent appearance on the TD Cowen Aerospace and Defense Conference, and he said some really amazing things. So this is why I'm wearing my celebration glasses. The first time I wore them was on Palantir Weekly, when Palantir did like 45% on in 1 week, and you know, we're trying to keep this fun and entertaining. So I thought when we get really good news, I'm gonna wear my celebration glasses. And in Palantir's case, I got to wear these this hairband with the plus 20, and I hope soon, it will probably be a few years, I'll be able to wear this for Rocket Lab when we go over 20. So this one not yet, but the celebration glasses definitely, because this was a damn good conference. So I did a whole video where I basically listened to the whole conference. You can find it on the channel. It was a live. And this video is just a much shorter. If you don't have 40 minutes to watch that, then you just watch this one and you still get most of the data. So please make sure that you're subscribed. I want to thank Arnie Trezzi for being the first channel member. And if you want to support the channel, you can do it via Patreon or being a channel member. To be frank, the channel member is more awesome because when you're on live streams, you get this like things by your name when you comment, and when you comment, it shows more. Anyways, it doesn't matter. The main important thing is that you're here and you're subscribed. So this was really an amazing call. The interviewer did such an amazing job, and he clearly knew Rocket Lab and asked questions that I would have asked. And we basically found out what the 355 million for, and yes, it's for an acquisition, and no, it's not for Raycon. Luckily, I thought that was a bad idea. But I'm going to play you a clip that will explain exactly what it is for. So let's begin with the first one. So Rocket Lab, Adam Spice, CFO, is saying that they are a vertically integrated satellite producer and a launch provider, and they have gotten a lot of interest from customers, especially from the government, for turnkey solutions, because then the governments can rely on the schedules, the costs, I guess, become better. So they see clear signs that this strategy is working, and the only thing that they're really missing is being able to lift large payloads, which is very logical. So they have the Electron rocket. It's about 320 kilos or something like this. And Neutron is going to be like 15,000 kilos to LEO. So that's the only thing that is missing. Then next one, they talked about Electron and the 22 launches. And I really loved, because the guy asked like, what is the risks this year for your manifest? And he said that they have never had a situation where a customer was ready and they didn't have a rocket ready for the customer. So if there is delays, it's almost always that the customers are delayed with their satellites. However, they have a system now that if a customer is very delayed, they basically bump the customer, and then they can offer that ride to some other customers that are ready. And the reason why they can do this is because SpaceX's transporter mission is sold out in the next 2 years, and customers don't want to wait 2 years to get to space. He also said that the recently recovered Electron stage looks phenomenal. This was sort of like the last iteration that they wanted to do before they refly the rocket. However, they're only going to do 2 recovery missions, and this was one of them, and they're not going to refly the booster because the whole team is so focused on the launch schedule and on Neutron development, and that's fine. Then the guy asked him about what's happening with demand, because there's a lot of companies going out of business, and who is their competitors, and what are they seeing with the prices. And he said that the pricing is really firm. Their only real competitors are Firefly, which has flown 4 times, and only one of them was a successful flight. And AVL, which I have not heard about yet, they have had only one flight where they blew up the pad. So he said they don't really have any reliable competitors except for SpaceX's transporter mission, but that one is full for the next 2 years. So they see pricing really firming up, and they see that demand is very robust, and they can increase the prices about 3% every year. Then I really love that he talked about who is the real competitor to Neutron, because you have ULA's Vulcan, you have Blue Origin, and again, Adam Spice reiterated that it is SpaceX that they are really competing against, and the other rockets have barely flown. And Rocket Lab thinks very, very differently because they don't have so much capital. And in this one, on how differently they think, he brought up the point that they 4 years ago said that they would develop Neutron from $250 million, and that this was unheard of in the space industry, and it is a very low number. I can't remember how much Falcon 9 cost, but it was, I believe, a higher number, and it was like 10 years ago, so lots of inflation since then. And he said that they are spending $200 million of their own money, and they have gotten $50 million investment, and he's very confident that they are on time and on budget. So that was very, very good to hear. Then, regarding the milestones on Neutron, he said that they did a pre-burner test on the engines, which went well, and he's really confident in saying that the hot fire engine test that we all have been waiting for is going to come in the end of Q1, which is a month away, or a little bit more than a month, or very beginning of Q2. And he specifically stressed that because we're so close to that date, he's very confident in saying this. And he said that's the last barrier to Neutron, and whenever they have done this, then the launch is 6 to 12 months away. And he basically said that they reuse all the avionics. So really the only thing is the engine that is new. Their goal is to have an integrated Neutron on the pad. And we spoke with Matt Money about, we all understand that they mean launch, but it technically can mean that Neutron is just standing on the pad and we are waiting for FAA approval. And his wording is that we're going to have an integrated Neutron on the launch pad. So that his wording is not we're going to launch, but the interviewer clearly understood it as they're going to launch, and he didn't disagree with him. But his wording is Neutron will be on the pad and it will be integrated. Very, very bullish thing here is that they are thinking with 3 Neutron launches in 2025, and that is to paying customers, and it's multiple customers, and they have had a lot of interest. They feel very good with the demand, but they're not going to discount the prices. And the minute they are done with the hot fire engine test, that means that the customers can rely on the Neutron schedule, and then they feel confident writing binding contracts with actual deposits, and they're not going to discount the prices except for the first launch, which has a possibly high risk of going wrong, and that will be, in his word, it's not going to be discounted, but the price will reflect the risk. But the 3 Neutron in 2025, crazy bullish. So again, he stressed that their only real competitor is SpaceX, and he said that you never really stack a rocket full unless you're launching a mega constellation, and that's the only time when you really go for this, how much is it to launch per kilogram. So Neutron is a 15,000 ton or 15-ton rocket, and SpaceX Falcon 9 is like 17, or it's slightly bigger. And the point is, if you have a 7-ton satellite, then Neutron is going to be cheaper. So he said that this is where they feel that they can compete with SpaceX, and this is also something that I've said many times in the videos. And basically, SpaceX is the one that they feel that they are trying to emulate and go after what they have done. And the only difference between them and SpaceX is SpaceX does everything in-house and it's for their own walled garden ecosystem, whereas Rocket Lab is selling their stuff, satellites and everything to outside people. And they are a more broader supplier, whereas SpaceX is a closed wall garden. That's what they said. So then he talked about that the space systems is growing very, very nicely. Every department is growing in the double digits. He said, so again, super bullish that, because I've never heard anyone from Rocket Lab say this, but he said 2025 middle, they're going to be cash flow positive. He thinks that that's a turning point for the company. So that's one of the reasons I'm wearing the glasses. The other one is the 3 Neutron launches to paying customers in 2025. And then now we come to the point. So he said that for them to be a fully end-to-end producer on the payload side, so he said that they're very good on launch, buses, and other things, but on the payload, whatever that means, he says that they need help, and this is why they had to raise the 355 million. And it's very short. I'm just going to let you listen to it so you hear it.
Any thoughts now that you're in transport of kind of getting a prime package supplier and trying to bid into tracking?
Absolutely. It's all on the table.
Mm-hmm.
It's all. One thing that we don't have, which is, we have all what we think the most critical portions of the bus. We obviously have launch. It's the payload side that we have our greatest reliance on third-party partners.
Right.
And so that's strategically longer term. That's an area that we're going to look to do more incremental investment. So as you're aware, we did a $355 million convertible bond raise a couple of weeks ago. And what that really allows us to do is go and kind of inorganically work our way more into payload capabilities so that we can bring more and more of that under one roof.
So there you go. So it's payload capabilities to inorganically be able to bring that under one roof. If you can translate whatever that means. So I think that they're going to be either buying up equipment or some manufacturers, and this is why they had to do the 355 million raise. He reaffirmed that they evaluated, loan options, direct equity raise, and him and Peter Beck being very large shareholders, they really wanted to make sure that the equity holders don't get effed in this deal, and this was the best solution to do it, and this was the best time to do it because they feel that there is a lot of distressed assets, a lot of other space companies going out of business and they can't raise capital. And now is the time to go shopping. And I think they are right. So I think that they did the correct decision with raising the money. So this was the things that were said. Again, the celebration glasses, there's nothing I didn't like about this one. They finally, maybe they have said it before, the first time I heard it, that after 2025, they're cash flow positive. Neutron is on time. There is talks with paying customers. Space Systems is rocking. Their gross margins are looking good. The Electron launches are fully booked out, and they see a lot of robust demand. Seriously, there was nothing to not like in this. The only difference I still want to remind people between Palantir and Rocket Lab is that Rocket Lab is already on the other side. They have climbed the Himalaya mountains and they're coming down on the other side. They're already a profitable company, very super much money in the bank, and everything is going well for Palantir. Rocket Lab, everything is looking good, but we're not cash flow positive yet. There still can be a lot of delays, both on Electron, both on Neutron. So you have to keep that in mind, but boy, it's looking really good, and he sounded really confident, and I really liked it. So thank you so much for watching this. Please make sure you're subscribed. If you want to become a channel member, don't hold yourself back. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next video. Ciao, ciao.